Have you guys noticed the shifting tides of Valorant ranked recently ever since the introduction of patch 6.11? We're sure most of you have. Patch 6.11 introduced a slight meta shift, which even if slight is worth talking about. In this video today, we're going to talk about the agents that have been taking this patch by storm so you can get in on the action and start using these characters to maximize your elo gain. One of the biggest surprises is the introduction of a very underutilized agent in the meta today, Harbor. This may come as a shock to a lot of you watching, but Harbor truly is a viable pick with the new patch. Right now, we're seeing a major shift towards double controller meta, which is something quite unprecedented in the scene until now. Harbor's utility is very viable, supplementary utility to any team's composition, allowing to easily cover areas of the map with a slowing wall, preventing enemies to push through as they generally would. Harbor's team play potential is absolutely amazing. We've seen plays with his wall where his team pushes behind it and flashes through, all while taking space and denying information. This wave crash controller is also pretty viable as a solo controller on some maps. The maps that come to mind, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking it right now, Pearl, Lotus, and even Bind. His utility here on some of these maps can pretty much fully capture any spike site if used properly, and in conjunction with his teammates' utility. On Bind, Harbor is good for taking specific areas such as B long with a push wall, or delaying a push on long using High Tide to completely cut off garden control from the attacking team. We find Harbor's main weakness is similar to Viper's, where it's hard to pivot your utility from one site to the next, unlike the rest of the controllers. But Harbor nonetheless is a very viable pick, and we urge you to at least give him a shot as a secondary controller. It could definitely win you some games for free. And for everything else you need to climb ranks and improve fast, there's SkillCapped. We take the highest priority skills to climb ranks fast, such as aiming, and then break it down into a step-by-step course that's easy to understand. You'll not only learn the basics such as crosshair placement and clearing angles properly, but also more advanced concepts like getting more multi-kills and repositioning. These courses have been getting 5-star ratings from users just like you, raving at how helpful they are. That's not all though, as every week we release 6 brand new VOD reviews where Radiant coaches teach you how to climb out of the exact rank you're stuck in. And if you're looking for something more personal instead, then we got you covered with our new one-on-one coaching at our SkillCapped Discord. All this seemed too good to be true? Well, don't worry, we're backed by a rank up guarantee. If you don't significantly improve while actively using SkillCapped, then you get your money back, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below and get the rank you've always wanted. Alright, now let's get into today's guide. We love to hate him and we love his abilities, cute waddles. It's Gekko taking up the next desired slot in this video. Gekko is not your standard initiator, as I'm sure you all know. Gekko fills a bit of a weird flex type role, and we're here for it. Gekko comes equipped with area denial, intel, and even a way to safely plant the bomb. He even has a miniature cute KJ lockdown that he can use multiple times, which can be insanely strong when used correctly. Gekko's utility can be great with all the other agents on this list. Honestly, Gekko is just great by himself as a character. The amount of value and variety brought to the table by this utility is nearly unmatched in the initiator category. Gekko's Dizzy is a cute flash that must be shot or hid from in order to avoid, is a pretty gnarly flash to use on your enemies. You'll see a lot of Gekko players using it similarly to Skybird in order to gather information on the opponent's whereabouts. The fact that you cannot turn from this ability alone makes it fairly strong, as it forces your enemy to shoot it, similar to a Reyna Lear. Gekko's Wingman is even more insane. Wingman is a little gremlin that loves to plant and defuse bombs. It'll even chase down your opponents if they come into view. Now, the reason Wingman shines is obviously safe planting and defusing. But here's the thing with Wingman. Wingman has the potential from turning any oddly favored retake into your favor simply by being there. Think about it. In a 2v1 situation, generally it would automatically turn into a 1v1 situation due to the fact a teammate will need to start the spike defusal. But when Wingman is around, things change. He can automatically turn that 1v1 into a 2v1, changing the pace of the retake drastically and forcing the hand of the opponents. Wingman brings insurmountable impact to the table, and we can't overlook that. Those two abilities, combined with his mosh pit that makes an area nearly inaccessible for a few whole seconds, which can be a round determiner, and the fact that he has a pocket KJ ultimate with multiple uses, makes Gekko one of our top picks. Sage has honestly made quite a big comeback into the Valorant scene. With a staggering 10% pick rate, we can tell this ice-wielding sentinel is almost as good as it gets. You already know a lot about Sage, so we'll just go over her briefly here. Sage is, in our opinion, an amazing sentinel in general, whose utility is already difficult to deal with. But think about it, combined with a KJ in this current climate, uncontestable. Sage lacks certain aspects of a traditional sentinel, but where she lacks, she makes up for in raw stopping power with her slows and wall. Let's not forget, she can literally bring that jet that died 5 seconds into the round, peeking mid straight back to life with the use of her ultimate ability. And hey, we're not judging your use of res. Sage slow, Sage wall, res, heal, wrap those into a package for an absolute team play machine. Not to mention, Sage walls are notorious for crazy wall tech, allowing you to see areas not meant to be seen by the average human eye. Now, we know Sage obviously lacks one of the essentials, automatic flank watch. but we think she definitely makes up for it. And hey, if you really want that flank watch, couple her with a Cypher or KJ for ultimate map coverage. We think Sage shines primarily as a backup sentinel anyways, but she 100% without a doubt can be used as the primary stopping power for any team to hide behind when played right. This one may surprise you, honestly. This character has been lurking in the shadows of play for a long time, but players are finally starting to catch on. Players are catching on to the fact that Yoru is actually pretty viable and pretty darn useful. Yoru's abilities can be pretty troll, but when used right, can be the reason an enemy player decides to uninstall Valorant today. Yoru has in his kit the longest flashbang in the game. His fake clone, easily his most notorious ability, can be used very effectively for many things. Team play specifically, his fake clone can be used in a very useful situation to discombobulate the team further when they're already dealing with a plethora of uncanny utility being thrown at them. His fake clone is essentially another entry fragger, and also could technically be a Sova drone if you think about it. When the enemy shoots this clone, you know almost exactly where they are, allowing you to sniff them out and game end them. Yoru's flashes are also very useful. Sure, you can combine them with his TP, but they can be used as an amazing pop flash to help your team get onto the spike site. Never underestimate the power of a strong Yoru flash, and let's not forget his literal ultimate that strikes fear into anyone he looks at while in it. Yoru can get free intel for his team while being completely invincible. He's a Sova drone that can literally kill the enemy team. You'll oftentimes see popular YouTubers pulling off pretty crazy stunts where they come out of their ultimate after feeding an insane amount of information to their team, only to get 1 or 2 kills combined with the use of their flashes or clone. Yes, Yoru can be a pretty troll pick, but when you figure out how to use him, he can easily be one of the most powerful and also completely overlooked duelists in the game. Try him out, guys. Stop with the stigma that Yoru equals bad, because as I'm sure a lot of you are starting to figure out, he's actually pretty nuts. With the double controller meta creeping in, so is your least favorite agent to go against. Astra is coming back swinging with the introduction of this new meta, because let's face it, even if she's not necessarily the best when it comes to solo controller on most maps, she can be an absolute headache when paired with the likes of supplementary controllers like Harbor or Viper. Her stars, oh boy, her stars, easily one of the most annoying pieces of utility to deal with, not only throughout the round, but in retakes specifically. Her suck and stun are absolutely amazing pieces of combo and stall utility. Her stun specifically can be amazing when paired with a jet dashing into that location. Or hey, throw a suck on backside C Haven combined with a raised nade and just see what happens. Think about this. Well, I'm not sure you really have to imagine it, as I'm sure it's a common thing you run into on occasion. A Viper is playing post plant, you go to defuse, and of course, the faded lineups come in. What's next? You see a star placed in the spike. Yeah, you might as well save at this point. Let's just say if you combine these two agents, or really Astra with any other stalling agent, even Brimstone, you're doing your absolute best to make sure somebody never presses play in the Riot client again. And who knows, with this meta, you might be sparing them. Astra is strong, she always has been, but now that people are catching on to double controller meta, what reason is there to not pick her when you have somebody locking Harbor on Pearl? Astra alone on Pearl can be hard to deal with, but coupled with the Harbor, that's game. We honestly hope you take into consideration some of our top picks for strong agents this time around. And hey, maybe we found you guys a new agent to main while the long wait for the new agent ensues. This was just a glimpse of what we have to offer though. Over at SkillCapped, we've got you covered with dozens of tailor-made courses that will teach you everything you need to know about climbing in Valorant. We'll teach you everything you need to know about mastering your mechanics so that you can start playing at an immortal level in no time. Along with this, we also upload tons of VOD reviews each week that our coaches record from looking at players just like you. So rather than just paying for one $200 coaching session on another platform, you can get access to hundreds of sessions for just a few bucks. Not only that, but our coaches are also at the ready in our Discord to take a look at your gameplay and tell you exactly what your issues are, if by chance you don't find value from all the other things we offer on our site. Use the link below for a discount link for your purchase today. And other than that, we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.